My business shot up when I got the right content team in place. When it comes to scaling your real estate business, social media is now a non-negotiable. It's where clients are looking for their agents. It's where some of the top agents in the entire continent are getting the majority out of their production, but it can be difficult to manage it all. And as you're growing your real estate business, you really should not be managing all of it. I started out editing all of my own videos. You could probably tell if you go back and look, they're pretty bad. But it was always a goal to outsource the plethora of activities that comes with creating content, and ideally hire your own team so that you have somebody who understands you, your clients, your brand. And in this video, what I want to do is break down the 5 steps that you need to take if you want to build out your own content team. I'm going to share the mistakes I made trying to find and work with a content team so that you can make sure that you do it right the first time. Hey there, I'm Amanda Davidson, and this channel is all about growing your real estate business without ever making a cold call or door knocking. I share how to leverage social media to get clients coming directly to you. It's one of the best ways to scale your business and attract ideal clients. However, it's time consuming, and it can be overwhelming when you're doing everything on your own. I waited for far too long to hire a content team. I could have created more content, better quality content in a fraction of the time, which would then have allowed me to be more consistent and grow my brand. That is not what you're going to do. I'm going to share with you the 5 things you need to do in order to get your content team in place, and then I'm going to talk about the 5 mistakes to avoid where I screwed up. First is getting clear on your platforms. So you've got to get clear on what platform or platforms you're going to be posting on and the outcome that you're looking for. So that means getting clear on what you're going to be doing long term. Are you just doing short form? Are you doing long form? Are you going to need someone to take care of your YouTube channel and optimize everything, manage the channel? Are you looking to build out a content team that also understands short form like Instagram or TikTok? Are you looking to get a content team that maybe understands how to post organically on Facebook or grow your Google business profile, or maybe something that I'm not even thinking of? Where are you at in your business and where do you want to go? I said I'd save this things to avoid later on, but this really is a big mistake that I've made. Getting clear on what you want is going to allow you to actually get there with the proper team. And that's a huge mistake that I made. So don't just try to find some sort of VA and say, hey, I want to be active on every single platform. Just go figure it out. That doesn't work. And it usually ends up leading to disappointment and frustration, wasting time, money. Same for just jumping on Fiverr. There's no direction or a plan that's being followed, and it leads to a big headache. You truly have to know where you are now and where you want to go. It's important to build that solid foundation. You're also going to need to get clear on your budget. There's a multitude of different budgets. You can have a very minimal budget starting out, and if that's the case, then you might need to go to Fiverr, but just temporarily. And if you do, I recommend using the same editor once you find one you're comfortable with and gets you. If you have a bit to invest into this, then you can source an actual content team that not only edits your content, but also customizes it to your brand, collaborates with you, brainstorms, optimizes your content. And if you're posting, then they can keep it consistent for you. I really don't think you absolutely have to have someone local either. The team I work with is in Canada, and the team I worked with before that is in Texas. And as most of you know, I'm on the East Coast. I love the team I work with now. We collaborate, they understand my brand, they understand the direction we're heading in, and they've helped me so much. I get excited to feed them more content because they just do such an incredible job. We're partners, and I want to be partners for years to come. That is part of creating that team, and you should want the same. Number 3 is commitment. You have to have your plan in place so that you know what you're committing to. How often are you going to be posting? Where are you going to be posting? If YouTube is in the mix, are you going to be recording both long form and short form? Can you actually commit to your plan? And by that, I mean, do you have it mapped out in terms of when you're going to record? And even before that, when are you going to take care of all the ideas and topics and things like that to be ready to record? Recording is really just one small piece of putting out content. Commit to what you know you can be consistent with. Consistency always wins. People get all excited about social media and not cold calling or door knocking, but then they don't think about how much time it really takes to be consistent and successful on social media. They're like, oh, I'm going to post, 5 times a week. And then they realize how much work it is. And then they give up and they go on to something else. So you really need to commit to a plan that is consistent, that's going to help your business grow long term. This is not an overnight thing. It's way better to start smaller, get comfortable, get consistent, and then bump up than it is to, go all in and then get burned out and then just stop altogether. Number 4 is figuring out your style. Look at others' content who you want to be like. It doesn't have to be an agent. This is just for style. Spend some time researching after you find how you want your content to look. And if you have the budget, I guarantee you can find an editing team that can make it just like what you are looking for. If your budget's smaller, no worries. Hop on Fiverr, find someone and maybe some trial and error, give them guidance on what you're looking for, give that inspiration from other videos and share it, and then see how they do. And if it doesn't turn out well, try someone else until you find the right person. Last is hiring. Now, there's so many different ways that you could hire, but let's start out with thinking a VA. And this is genuinely what I recommend because Fiverr can be good, but what I found when I used it for a few months, the issue is that they're working with a whole slew of people, all from different industries, different brands, different preferences, and they're not invested in your brand. You're really not a priority, and neither is anyone else really. It's about volume. It's transaction versus relationship. Some really don't care if you're happy or not. They just want it done. Whereas if you have a VA or a team of them that you've brought in, they work for you. You're a client. They want you to be successful because as you continue to grow, then their business does too. The more that you are growing, the happier they're going to be, and vice versa. Everybody wins. So if you're just getting started and have a modest budget, I highly recommend starting with VAs. Hire one as a graphic designer, hire one that has a video editing experience, and then maybe a social media manager. And you might find one that does all three, but all three roles are a little bit different, so just make sure that you're vetting people. And then what you want to do is not just explain to them, you want to give them a roadmap. Now, I'm going to explain 4 things that I definitely made big mistakes on, and I really fell victim to them, but it's a learning process, and I want to explain it to you so that you can avoid these mistakes and break it down in more detail. First up is going to be interviewing VAs, and I've wasted way too many hours on this over the years, which means way too much money, and still ended up with people with the wrong skill set and they weren't happy. So we want to make sure that you're training whoever you're hiring. And most agents are still in the learning stage of social media. So you're trying to find someone that knows everything about social media and real estate, but you aren't even entirely sure yourself. So then you try to find VAs, but you also need to train them to get effective results. It's not going to go well when you don't know the training. Like if you don't know the training, you're not going to be able to create it. Now they're lost, you're lost, and everybody's unhappy. I also see this is where you can find yourself with a VA that made my YouTube video look incredible, and you get it back and you're disappointed because you didn't give them any proper training or guidance. Training is everything when it comes to VAs or even on Fiverr, but I would really go the VA route. Next is time. The amount of time that it actually takes to find the right people is a lot. And in order to find someone that's the right fit, you're going to have to do a lot of interviews. I like to do Zoom calls. They're normally about 30 minutes, but depending on how many applicants you have, you're really going to have to source a lot of hours in order to determine that you are getting the best person for the job. VAs are amazing. When you find the right one, it is gold. I mean, they save so much time. I love my VAs, but you're going to have to really think about how much time you want to invest in finding one. And number 3 is quality. Like everything else in life, you get what you pay for. I see so many agents get content back that they hate. They didn't give the VA anything to work from. They didn't give guidelines. They didn't give a checklist, nothing. So they're unhappy. You're unhappy. You're both trying to understand each other. And so many times I'll see thumbnails, captions, and graphics that are done by someone who has experience with design, but not for social media. You want eye-catching content. You want content that gets clicks. And there is nothing wrong with formal graphic work, but that's not what works on social media. It doesn't stand out. It may look pretty, but if you can't read it and it's not getting clicks, it's not the right fit. The other thing you want to do is give them a checklist. Make sure that you give them criteria to work from, that it must have certain things within it. Number 4, that last pain point to avoid is time management. So many people are spending more time managing their content team than actually putting out content. So you finish recording, you should be able to just send it to your team. They'll get it back to you. Everything's done and it's going to be exactly what you're looking for. Where lots of people struggle is when they have gotten their content team in place, they send it off to the team, and then they're waiting for it to come back, or they're asking what's going on, when's it going to be done, they're doing constant revisions, and you spend all this time micromanaging the team, where you could have just been putting up more content, following up with clients, or I don't know, maybe take a little time off. Just something better to do with your time. So when you hire the right content team, the goal is to have it mean leverage for you, not to suck more of your time. It's really important to get the right content team to just send everything off to and know it's going to come right back. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I will happily answer them. If you got some value from this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Until I see you on the next one, thanks for watching.